morning to you all. Welcome all to the Morning Rush. This is the morning empowerment call for heart-centered entrepreneurs up to cause change in the world. And if you are here, you are part of that change. Thank you for being here. Thank you for Rianne, all your support in the background. AM Noel holding down our pre-morning call. And today we are talking about managing wealth and resources. Ooh. Resources could be people, could be groups, could be your business. And I can't think of anyone better to talk about wealth and managing these things, especially after her incredible appearance and valuable episode on Lisa Mosby's show live
Podcast.
yesterday. I
Yes.
just blanked on the name. Win-Win Women.
Her podcast is called Loving Flavor or something like that. Why can't
Living with
it's
Favor by
yes.
Lisa Mosby on Win-Win Women TV. I want to make sure we get the link. It's in WhatsApp as well from yesterday, but I got to catch it live, and I just want to say how extraordinary it was. And with that, I'm going to turn it right over to my co-hostess with the mostest, money coach, Chris.
Yes, thank you, Ben, so much. How incredible is it? Like I tell David all the time, I feel like he's in my brain. Everything that we're talking about is always like on par with what I'm doing in my life. And so today's topic about resources and wealth, I want to just start with like, what are resources? Like Ben mentioned a couple things. Ben mentioned like it could be your team, it could be your business, but I want to hear from somebody else. Like, what else is a resource? Can somebody come off mute and chime in?
Well, one of the things that resource is money. Okay, money is like electricity. The power is always there. Money is constantly moving from Asia. When they go to bed, billions of trillions of dollars travel to North America and so on. So it's constantly moving. And our question to ourselves is, what is my connection to the flowing of money? It's like putting a tap, right?
Yeah. So money is a resource. I just want to get people to chime in on different resources. I saw Sammy put in the chat time. So we have money, we have time as a resource. Ben mentioned
what about people?
People, yes. Yes, Heather. What would you say?
Money, people and community, energy, thoughts, food, the land, all resources.
So many resources. Now, when
we're talking body.
Yes, our body too. Culture.
And vibration.
So many different resources. Now, my question is also like, how does wealth fall in line with resources? What does that mean when you have wealth? This is a question I ask people all the time. Like, what does wealth mean? Anybody have anything to share? Yes, Janine.
I feel like the idea behind wealth is where you not only have an abundance, you're willing to create more of it without a feeling of lack. You come from a space of joy and play.
Yes. Yes.
Also wanted to give a shout out to Janine because she was on the episode as well at the tail end yesterday, and I didn't mention your name, so I did want to share it. She's part of that great value yesterday as well. And thank you for sharing that about wealth too. I'm going to say one more thing, Chris, and then I'm going to mute myself. I booked a TV show today. I got an acting job and I'm driving there. So I'm going to be on mute for the rest, but I wanted to share that win. And I'm going to let you, Chris, lead from here. And what I want to say to sort of land this plane is I also, as you're listening today, look at where you're not managing wealth, where you're not managing your resources as well, so we can see how to upgrade as we go into the breakout rooms. Chris, back to you. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Congratulations, Ben.
Yes, congratulations. Let us know how it goes.
Well, thank you.
Marja, come off and let us know what wealth means for you.
Yeah, so for me, wealth is not just money. Money is part of wealth. Wealth is total financial health, relationship, and so looking at your circle of life, which I narrowed down to the 4 Fs: faith, family, fitness, and finance, all couched in fun. And so looking at those areas of your life, are you optimizing in them? Are you living in true abundance? Are you flowing in those? And so that's what I love to look at as true wealth. Yes, faith, family, fitness, and finance, all couched in fun. And I talked about that in my next book that's coming out. And it's so important to assess and pass that along in whatever you believe it does. It's in the Bible, it says a good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. And people, I think, often misinterpret that as money, leaves money as an inheritance, but it's inheritance in all of the wealth. It's inheritance of proper health. It's an inheritance of proper ways of thinking. It's an inheritance of showing up as productive members of society. It's an inheritance of showing up in your gifts and talents and contributing that to the world. It's an inheritance of passing all of those along generationally. It's an inheritance of land. Land is also a very part of wealth building. And so it's looking at all of those areas and how we are doing in those. And when we are operating in a level 8, 9, 10 in that circle of life on a scale of like 0 to 10, that's when we're operating in our primary abundance.
Exactly. I love all of those things. Beautifully and well said. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And looking forward to your book when that comes out.
Thank you.
Kara, let's hear from you.
Okay, good. Sorry, I don't typically operate from my phone. You know, at the age of 29, I was a multimillionaire. And now I'm 55 and I still have assets, but it's not like what it was before. And I just remember the experience of just having so much freedom. And I do get the whole, well, I get the concept of health, wealth, and all that. But to me, having a finance background, wealth to me is the dollar amount. It's money. It is money, and what that freedom can provide. And I could tell you, I don't know if I was necessarily the happiest when I had that. I was in my first marriage, but I could tell you that it was a lot less stress-free. You know, so that was my actual physical experience of having I don't know if it was wealth, but it was definitely abundance in my bank account. So so yeah, I can turn around and say, yeah, I'm healthy, and I count that as healthy. If I'm spiritually abundant or whatever, I count that as spiritually abundant. I'm not sure that I translate the word wealth into those areas. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm abundant, and I'm not as wealthy as I used to be financially. That's okay. Yeah. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what, like kind of like playing off of that, Kara, so you've had a lot of money and then maybe now not as much, right? So when I talk to a lot of my clients, we talk about what does wealth mean? What does being rich mean? All these different things. One thing that I teach is when we're talking about resources. So money, kind of like AM was saying, is energy. It flows, it comes and goes. Sometimes we have more of it than others, right? To me, there's one specific resource that is really, really important to me, and that is time. So money comes and goes. Time, once it's spent, it's spent. You can't ever get that back. And for me, like when I teach people, I say, hey, you know, money, when you're looking at something that you want to purchase, let's say it's a want, not a need, and you want to go buy whatever it is. Let's say it's something that cost you $1,000. A lot of people will say, oh, well, it cost this much money. So I ask people to think about it sometimes in time. So how much money do you make an hour? So if you're an hourly employee or you get paid a salary, you can figure that out easily. If you're a business owner, it's a little bit more difficult to figure out what your hourly rate is. But for me, you figure out like, what is your hourly rate? And then how much does that cost in time? So how many hours does that thing that you want cost you in time, right? Because then that has a different impact. Some people, I read a book one time and they say, you know, when they want to buy something that they want, they say, oh, it costs this much in tacos because they have a love for tacos. For me, I have a love for time. So I always say, well, how much time does something cost? Right. So Peter's putting something in here, euro shackless diamonds. I once took 250,000 of copper dust as a payment. Yeah. Okay.
So that was the most annoying one ever, right? Because copper dust, if you open the barrel, it oxidizes, so it becomes worthless. So I took $250,000 of copper dust that was certified as being copper dust, that if I ever opened would become worthless. And I had such a burning desire. I'm like, I just need to know. I need to know what's in that barrel. Do I actually have copper dust or do I have manure? But by opening it, I'd have lost everything. So I literally, you buy it and sell it. So yeah, $250,000 of copper dust.
And then so that's interesting because you can never really know for sure. How was it?
I know, I still don't know. I could have had manure, but
yeah,
the certificate on the side of it from a very trustworthy Russian that said it was $250,000 of copper dust.
Okay. Okay. I love it. So as we go into breakout rooms, I want you guys to think about that. Like what resources are most important to you and how do you manage this resource? So that is the prompt for the breakout room. And also, Rianne's put up our rules of the breakout room. Let's make sure that we abide by these as well. But let's talk about that. What resources are important to you and how do you manage them?